The objective is to have a Palestinian state on the borders of 1967 that will live in
peace and security.
The lesson of history is that peace and security do not come easily.
Peace and stability
Must decide whether we are serious about peace and security. To recognize Israel's legitimacy and its right to exist in peace and security. That's how we will find new pathways to peace and security. That is the work that we must do.
In peace and security.
Peace and security and coexistence.
A movement towards peace. If we have this triangle, economy, security, and peace, then peace can succeed.
It is morning. You wake up.
Hey, come on.
You greet your loved ones. You grab the morning paper. And although it seems like any ordinary day, it isn't. For one extraordinary reason.
A historic and unprecedented event has occurred. The question of whether or not we are alone in the universe has been answered.
This is so cool. Warships have just arrived over India, England, and Germany.
I really don't think they flew 90 billion light years to come down here and start a fight.
We gotta stop them! They're gonna kill us all!
They're using our own satellites against us. The clock is ticking.
It's over.
Years from now, they're gonna ask, where were you when they took over the planet?
You'll be fine. I promise. It's over. I'm sorry, but it's over. I think it's time.
Your faith in us, but never in yourselves. From here, the fight will be your own.
We're running out of time. We're running out of clues. And there's an invasion coming. So really, we need to go right now. War has started.
My dad said they'd come. He said, we ain't alone. He said, one day we'd find them. Or they'd find us.
How desperate are you? And you call on such lost creatures to defend you.
Our enemy can take any shape.
You have made me very desperate.
They could be anywhere.
We're not a team. We're a time bomb.
This is nothing we were ever trained for.
Okay, before I get into any analysis of what we just saw, any kind of commentary, clarification, this is what the Lord wants me to read, so I'm just going to be obedient. This is going to, someone's going to get something out of this. Hopefully everyone watching this video gets what the Lord is trying to say here. This is Jesus talking to the disciples, and I hope you can hear me. I'm kind of hanging out outside. It's a nice and cloudy day, but it's a nice day here. This is John 8. And this is verse 31. So Jesus said to the Jews who had believed in him, "If you abide in my word, you are truly my disciples, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." They answered him, "We are offspring of Abraham, and have never been enslaved to anyone. How is it that you say you will become free?" Jesus answered them, "Truly, truly, I say to you, everyone who commits sin is a slave to sin. The slave does not remain in the house forever. The Son remains forever. So if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. I know that you are offspring of Abraham, yet you seek to kill me because my words find no place in you. I speak of what I have seen with my Father, and you do what you have heard from your father." They answered him, "Abraham is our father." Jesus said to them, "If you were Abraham's children, you would be doing what Abraham did. But now you seek to kill me, a man who has told you the truth that I heard from God. This is not what Abraham did. You are doing what your father did." They said to him, "We were not born of sexual immorality. We have one Father, even God." Jesus said to them, "If God were your father, you would love me, for I am from God, for I came from God, and I am here. I am not of my own accord, but he sent me. Why do you not understand what I say? It is because you cannot bear to hear my word. You are of your father, the devil, and your will is to do your father's desire. He was a murderer from the beginning, and has nothing to do with the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks out of his own character, for he is a liar, and the father of lies. But because I tell the truth, you do not believe me. Which one of you can convict me of sin? If I tell the truth, why do you not believe me? Whoever is of God hears the words of God. The reason why you do not hear them is that you are not of God." The reason I'm showing all these images and we're flashing the UFOs and clouds of wrath and destruction, and we don't know how this is going to go down. I'm just trying to jog your memory. I'm not to jog your memory, but jog your imagination rather, to start looking at the Bible in a different light and start realizing that the great and terrible day of the Lord is going to be the worst thing that's ever happened. The Bible clearly says it. Daniel said it. He prophesied it. It is confirmed in the Gospels. Jesus was referencing Daniel, saying it's going to be the worst time ever. You saw the destruction. You saw all of the ships and the lasers and the aliens and the weirdo reptile shape-shifting weirdo. It's going to be a crazy time on this planet. As in the days of Noah. What was going on while Noah was around? Massive genetic manipulation. All flesh was corrupted, except for Noah and his generations. They could trace all the way back to Adam. So God had to wipe the slate clean. He's about to wipe the slate clean again. I wanted to go over some of the scriptures that I was flashing on the screen just to show you that it's not arbitrary and that it's not misplaced. It's something that I took very seriously and I prayed about this morning. And you know, I was showing Jonathan, I was like, hey, is this clip, is this, I don't want to put any Bible verse with images that don't fit. I was really nervous about it. And he was just praying and talking out loud. Before that, he didn't know I was with the Lord, you know, just pleading with him on my face, just really worried about this because I do not want to put this video out if it's not from him. And I was just saying, is this pleasing to you? You know, is this what you want? Is this good? Did I do a good job? Is this good? And just out of nowhere, Jonathan was praying. He was like, I hear the Father tell Clay, good job. And I was just, that's what I needed to hear. And the Lord showed it to me again in the Word today. So the verses that I was putting together was the alternative to Daniel 9:27. Which is astonish, devastate, stupefy, sudden destruction. The locust of Revelation 9, which is the fifth trumpet. The sixth trumpet are the angels that fell, that mated with human women. Jude 1:6 says that they kept not their own accord. They've been stored in everlasting chains, just like in that Transformers movie. It has the four creatures down there. They're releasing them up.
We believed Titans to be imprisoned forever, but breaking free.
They're going to come up from above. They're going to come up from below, and they're going to come down from above. The stars falling, and Satan and his demons and his angels being cast down to earth.
The end of the world.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Certain things we've seen recently should be taken as signs of something big being right around the corner. From the devastating earthquake in Japan.
We've been talking about this all week. But what if there was some sort of outer space crisis? An alien invasion sounds crazy, perhaps.
Or if they do invade, it'll be more like Bambi versus Godzilla.
So it's just going to be hell and hell meet at Earth, and humans are going to just be caught in the middle. It's going to be horrible, and I don't mean to make light of it, because it is going to be devastating. Let's just get into the word. This is Revelation 9, and these are called the woes. We have the wrath, and then within the wrath are these terrible things that are called the woes. And the angels are like, woe to you people. And they're going to be saying that if those weird things are coming down, shooting lasers, just carving through all of our national monuments, like just like paper mache, that's a woe. This is Revelation 9, and we're going to compare this to Joel 2. Talking about the description. In appearance, the locusts were like horses prepared for battle. On their heads were what looked like crowns of gold. Their faces were like human faces. The hair like women's hair. The teeth like lion's teeth. They had breastplates like iron. And the noise of their wings was like the noise of many chariots. So if you're witnessing this, you're John of Patmos. You've never seen a bicycle, let alone an automobile. And you've seen all this stuff. How are you going to describe it? Did a pretty good job considering the vernacular of the time and the technology of the time. And then the sixth angel blew his trumpet, and the four angels who had been prepared for the hour, the day, the month, and the year were released to kill a third of mankind. That is the same thing as the passage I showed, the third of mankind. That's 2.5 billion people as we sit right now. 7 billion people. We just hit that landmark this year. 2.5 billion people are going to die from this one woe. That's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of them. There's going to be a lot of death. Now let's compare this. This is Joel 2, and this is talking about the end times. You know, later on in this chapter, it talks about how the dreams and visions are going to pour out, and we're seeing that. You know, they all need to be discerned and checked with the Word, but you can definitely tell that there is an increase in activity. I've never had dreams or visions my whole life until Christmas Eve, and then in January I had a vision and a dream. So we're in this interesting period of time, and I know people watching this video are going to be raising their hand. Joel 2, this is verse 2. A great and powerful people, their like has never been before, nor will be again after them through the years of all generations. That fits perfectly with Daniel. I think it's Daniel 11, I forget. And whenever Jesus quoted it, that it's going to be a day unlike any other. This also describes them, just like we heard about the locusts in Revelation 9. Their appearance is like the appearance of horses. And like war horses, they run. They're going to be really fast. As with the rumbling of chariots, they leap on the top of mountains. Like the cracking of a flame of fire, devouring the stubble. All the buildings that were falling, devouring the stubble. Like a powerful army drawn up for battle. Well, the wind is wanting to get in the way here. Before them people are in anguish and faces grow pale. Like warriors they charge, like soldiers they scale the wall. We saw that beer commercial from this year, the alien climbing the wall.
They shall run upon the wall, they shall climb up upon the houses, they shall enter in at the windows like a thief.
That's what's going to be happening. And when I start to think about it, for the real experience, I get really sad. Because I know that it's going to be just absolutely terrifying. And there's a way to escape this, and it's Jesus Christ. And no matter what your belief is, let's not split hairs on whether there's going to be a rescue mission, what the nature of that escape mission, that rescue mission, that redemption, where our bodies are going to be transformed, and then we're going to go meet them in the clouds. Is there a time delay? I don't know. The Bible's not clear. It just says we will be changed, and then it says we will go up. It doesn't say in 30 minutes, in 1 second. And in twinkling of an eye we're changed, but it does not mention how soon we go up. There is a reason why the Lord is going to use this army to judge the nations, just like he used the Assyrians and the Babylonians to judge Israel. Think about a global scale now. He's going to use an invading force to judge we're all the nations now. Do you get it? We're thinking scale here. Think scale. Think bigger. Bigger. An invading army is coming. I don't know when they're going to get here. I'm not the only person saying that, and it's not something that I ever thought that I would be saying in front of a camera, putting together montages. You know, I was supposed to be in my 3rd year of my career, oil and gas, making really good money at my age. The Lord had provided a wonderful career for me, wonderful friends, potential girlfriends, you know, the whole thing. I was doing it. I had a Pac-Man machine in my house. I love old video games. I had one of those Pac-Man machines. It's all gone. It's all gone. It's all gone. It's just me and the Bible. It's me and the Lord. This is it. This is all I got. But I've got my faith that He's coming, and that this army is coming, and the reason that He did pull me out of that lifestyle, because that is the Babylonian system, having all these possessions. I had 2 50-inch TVs, 2 PlayStation 3s, Pac-Man machine, ping pong, foosball, you name it. I had it. I had it all. I had a really nice house in Fort Worth, nice neighborhood, the whole thing. I had it. I had it. I had made it. But not for me. They didn't give me joy. I was more depressed than I'd ever been. And until I started getting in this Word and getting a long time with the Lord God, did I truly get my joy, and was I released from my sin, my bondage. Just like it said in here, that anyone who commits sin is a slave. It's stuck in bondage. You saw that image of the pyramid with all the different corporate logos, the all-seeing eye that the powers and principalities were up against. We're a slave to this system, and Satan has created the net. He has woven it. It is intricate, and it covers the entire planet to encourage you to sin more, so that you are stuck in the bondage, and that you are separated from the Lord for eternity, and that you will believe His deceptions of all the false religions He's created. Go do some research on what the roots of all of these religions are, and you're going to discover that most of it is a demonic encounter, a false spirit. And the Bible says that if an angel appears to you and says anything that's not in this Word, it's of the devil, and get rid of it. And that's what He's been doing. He's been doing it before Jesus came. And now He's set up all of these prophecies for Himself to fulfill. The Mind Proxy specifically says, when the men of knowledge return, the earth will quake before them. We just saw the scripture. We saw the alien open the door, and then the earthquake happened.
The earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble.
The earth quakes before them, and then they show up. And then, this is the Mind Proxy. It says they will set up a one-world system of peace. This push for peace is going to escalate, and they're going to vilify Christians, because Christians have the one truth. Jesus Christ is the one truth, and that is the only obstacle to uniting all the other religions into one. Because they all are kind of nebulous, and they can all fit and make room and elbow room, and they can all wedge in there. But this can't. This drives in and splits it all, and pierces to the bone, because this is the truth.
You've been deceived by an agent of Satan himself. He's evil.
Sitting right here. Come on. No, he's not evil. He's just a bit rude. You know, we're trying to help him get home. He's from another world.
There's only one world, our world, the world that our God the Father created.
Hey, if it makes you feel any better, my existence only disproves traditional notions of the Abrahamic Judeo-Christian God, as well as all one-world theologies. That's all I meant.
So get yourself a Bible. Start reading it. Start praying over it. Because this world is going to be laid waste. All of these things are going to be destroyed. The Lord has to destroy these things, because the evidence of the satanic kingdom that is ruling the planet right now, we are in the shadow of Egypt. Why do you think there's an obelisk in every major city? Get on Google, go do this yourself, it's fun, and just type in obelisk and type in any city, any country you can think of, and you will find a prominent one. And they're mostly in the capital. They're in front of the Vatican, it's in front of DC. And behind it, you're usually going to find a womb. Representation of the Queen of Heaven, which they believe is the Mother of God, which there is no Mother of God. There is God. That's it. The Lord led me to these scriptures. The reason why it has to be laid waste. I'll read this. This is Zephaniah. This is Zephaniah 1. This is verse 2. I will utterly sweep away everything from the face of the earth. declares the Lord. I will sweep away man and beast. I will sweep away the birds of the heavens and the fish of the sea and the rubble with the wicked. I will cut off mankind from the face of the earth. The reason why? Because he has to do this. This is what's coming. There's going to be a new kingdom. This is a temporary stage of this planet. This is temporary. And this is going to be a distant memory. It's going to feel like a dream, like a hazy dream. Isaiah 65:17. For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former things shall not be remembered or come into mind, but be glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem to be a joy, and her people to be a gladness. I will rejoice in Jerusalem, and be glad in my people. No more shall be heard in it the sound of weeping and the cry of distress. No more shall there be in it an infant who lives but a few days, or an old man who does not fill out his days. For the young man shall die 100 years old, and the sinner 100 years old shall be accursed. They shall build houses and inhabit them. They shall plant vineyards and eat their fruit. They shall not build and one another inhabit, and they shall not plant and another eat. For like the days of a tree shall the days of my people be, and my chosen shall long enjoy the work of their hands. They shall not labor in vain, or bear children for calamity, for they shall be the offspring of the blessed of the Lord, and their descendants with them. Before they call, I will answer. While they are yet speaking, I will hear. The wolf and the lamb shall graze together. The lion shall eat straw like an ox. The dust shall be the serpent's food. They shall not hurt or destroy in all my holy mountain. This is the future. If you want to be a part of this future, you have to get on your knees and you have to humbly submit yourself to the Lord Jesus Christ to be master of your life. He's a really good master. He's a really good friend. He's a really good comforter. And he's really real. He's really real. And it says that my sheep hear my voice, and that those that don't hear, their father is the devil. So that's pretty clear as to who is going to hear this message and who is going to reject it. Those that reject. Because there's still a chance. There's still a chance. And we all had to struggle with it. We all had to fight the mental battle. We all had to defeat our own logical man. Go read C.S. Lewis. His book's called Mere Christianity. It'll take you 45 minutes to read it. C.S. Lewis set out to destroy Christianity. He was an intellectual. Really smart guy. Really great writer. He set out to destroy it. And he just confirmed it. And he just painted it with a wonderful brush when he did Narnia. At the end of the last Narnia movie that's come out, the Dawn Treader, Aslan is talking to them. He's saying, hey, here's the new kingdom. You can go into it now or you can go back. Talking about the New Jerusalem. And they're going to go back to Earth. They want to go back to Earth. And they say, well, how are we going to see you again? And he's like, well, you already know me here, but I go by a different name there. His name there is Jesus Christ. He's the Lion of the tribe of Judah. I'm going to read to you, the Lord wants me to read this, Revelation 3. This is to the bride of Christ that's watching and ready, and that's excited that we're seeing earthquakes, not because it's going to be destruction and chaos, but because we know it's prophecy being fulfilled, and we know that that is the indication that Jesus is at the door. This is to the church in Philadelphia. I know your works. This is verse 8. I have set before you an open door, which no one is able to shut. I know that you have but little power, and yet you have kept my word, and have not denied my name. Behold, I will make those of the synagogue of Satan, who say that they are Jews and are not, but lie. Behold, I will make them come, and bow down before your feet, and they will learn that I have loved you. Because you have kept my word about patient endurance, I will keep you from the hour of trial that is coming on the whole world, to try those who dwell on the earth. I am coming soon. Hold fast what you have, so that no one may seize your crown. The one who conquers, I will make him a pillar in the temple of God. Never shall he go out of it, and I will write on him the name of my God, and the name of the city of my God, the new Jerusalem, which comes down from my God out of heaven, and my own new name. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. The church in Philadelphia is spared from the hour of trial in Revelation 3. The church of Philadelphia is not heard from again. She just got her new name, the New Jerusalem. Where did she go? She went up to heaven. How do we know that? This is Revelation 21. After everything, all the dust is settled. The tribulation saints have come. They've become martyrs. Their testimony is as powerful as it gets. They've washed their robes in the blood of the Lamb. They've lost their life for Jesus Christ. They've clung to the truth, even unto death, and been extremely brave, and are rewarded as soon as that guillotine hits their neck. They are, shoot, they're out of here. No pain. No pain. This is Revelation 21. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and the sea was no more. And I saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride, adorned for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, Behold, the dwelling place of God is with man. He will dwell with them, and they will be his people. And God himself will be with them as their God. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more. Neither shall there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain any more, for the former things have passed away. And he who was seated on the throne, Jesus Christ, Yeshua our King, behold, I am making all things new. Also he said, Write this down, for these words are trustworthy and true. And he said to me, It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. To the thirsty I will give from the spring of the water of life without payment. The one who conquers will have this heritage, and I will be his God, and he will be my son. But as for the cowardly, the faithless, the detestable, as for murderers, the sexually immoral, sorcerers, idolaters, and all liars, their portion will be in the lake that burns with fire and sulfur, which is the second death. You are a soul. You have a body. You existed before this present age. You were knit in your mother's womb to be born 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s in this generation, to see Jerusalem be reborn, to see Israel be reborn and Jerusalem recaptured, and to see these things come to pass. He wanted you to be here to see this, and he wanted you to choose Jesus. And we all know that no one comes to the Father no one comes to Jesus Christ unless the Father draws them in. And you can't get to the Father unless you come through Jesus Christ. So if the Father's tugging on you right now to his Son, get to know his Son, and then you can get to know the Father. Because our Father, our Heavenly Father, who created all things, he is so pure and holy that he can't even look at sin. So he had to send his Son down here to this decrepit, sin-riddled place to take the punishment of having the flesh that we have, that is sin nature. And yet he resisted sin his entire life and never committed one sin. And he paid the price that we all can't afford to pay. He died the worst death you could possibly die that exists in human history. And then he paid the price. He had the burden of sin, not just on his body but on his soul, and he paid it. He paid that eternal price, and we can't imagine what he went through. Get to know Jesus. If you want to get to know him, send me a message. May God bless you and protect you for these troubling times that are coming. Get in the ark of Jesus Christ before these guys start coming out of the sky and then the deception begins.
Now, I'm wondering if there can't be an upside to all this. I'm a big fan of the original Star Trek series, and it was only when, there were alien civilizations that seemed to challenge the Earth that you found that the Earth got its act together for the kind of global governance that all the visionaries say we need that if we're going to deal with climate change, if we're going to deal with all the modern issues, global finance, where the sovereignty of individual nations is actually a political barrier to solving these big problems. So can there be an upside to the alien threat?
Believe it or not, when President Ronald Reagan met Mikhail Gorbachev, we now know during the transcripts of the meeting that he said that if we were ever attacked by the Martians, you and me, the Soviets and the capitalist U.S., would be allies in the fight against the Martians. Well, that's how Ronald Reagan looked at it, and believe it or not, there's some truth to it. If we are faced with a common enemy in outer space, it would indeed help to unite the Earth, just the way Ronald Reagan said.
Look, the aliens are coming.
God made heaven and earth and created us all in his own image.
Oh, his own image? Well, I got a question. How do you explain me? She's fun. Catch me. And that's Jenga.
Ladies and gentlemen, the very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control. And no official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, civilian or military, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed.
Bye.